All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're unlocking the vault on a pretty critical topic: how an entire nation is building a digital fortress to protect its financial system. We're going deep inside Taiwan's ambitious cybersecurity blueprint for its entire banking sector. I mean, it's a question that, let's be honest, has probably crossed your mind every time you tap your phone to pay for something or log into your banking app. In an age where we hear about cyber attacks constantly, how do we actually know our digital wealth is secure? Well, for Taiwan's financial sector, the answer isn't just a single piece of software or some new regulation. No, it's a massive, coordinated national effort called the Financial Cybersecurity Resilience Development Blueprint. Think of it as the master plan for that digital fortress.
So, how do you even begin to build a fortress that's fit for the 21st century? It's not about bricks and mortar anymore. It's about smart strategy, intense collaboration, and trying to get ahead of threats that might not even exist yet.
The whole blueprint is built on four core pillars. You can think of them as the four main walls of this fortress. First, there's proactive defense, which is all about stopping attacks before they can even start. Then you've got active defense, where everyone works together to fight threats. Third is resilience, which is about recovering super quickly if an attack does get through. And finally, future-proofing, getting ready for whatever challenges are coming next. We're going to walk through each one. Let's start with the foundation: proactive defense. The philosophy here is incredibly simple, but really, really powerful. Security shouldn't be an afterthought you tack on at the end. It has to be part of the original design. And this just perfectly illustrates that core idea: secure by design. I mean, think about it. You wouldn't build a massive bank and then try to figure out where to cram in the vault, right? Of course not. You design the vault into the blueprint from day one. It's exactly the same for software. Security has to be baked in, not just bolted on.
So, how does this actually work in the real world? It happens through something called the secure software lifecycle. From the very initial architectural design to the way the code is actually written, and then through tons of automated testing, using tools like SAST and DAST, which stands for Static and Dynamic Application Security Testing, to find flaws, and finally into a secure deployment pipeline. Every single step has security built right into it.
Now, a huge piece of this puzzle is the SBOM, or Software Bill of Materials. Honestly, the best way to think about this is like an ingredients list on a food package. It tells you every single thing that went into making a piece of software. And this is a total game changer because almost all modern apps are built using tons of third-party parts. So when a massive vulnerability is discovered in one of those parts, remember that whole Log4j crisis a while back? An SBOM lets a bank instantly know which of its systems contain that bad ingredient and fix it fast. It can turn a potential month-long disaster into a rapid, manageable response. Okay, so building secure software is step one. But here's the thing: no single bank, no matter how secure it is, can really stand alone against modern cyber threats. And that brings us to our second pillar: building a collaborative shield through active, collective defense. The heart of this whole collaborative effort is FISAC, the Financial Services Information Sharing and Analysis Center. The best analogy for it? It's like a super sophisticated high-tech neighborhood watch program for the entire financial industry. Everyone shares info about suspicious activity to keep the whole community safe. And what does this neighborhood watch actually do? Well, they're sharing real-time threat intelligence. So if one bank sees a new attack, everyone knows about it instantly. They're coordinating responses when an institution is hit, running joint cybersecurity drills to practice their defenses together, and even partnering internationally to stay ahead of global threats. And this is the really crucial point, right? In our super connected financial system, this kind of collaboration isn't just a nice to have, it's absolutely essential. An attack on a single bank can cause ripple effects everywhere, so defending together is really the only way to protect the whole system. All right, let's move on to that third pillar. Because look, despite having the best defenses in the world, breaches can still happen, and that's where resilience comes in. The ability to take a punch and get right back up, and fast.
Planning for this kind of disruption really boils down to two critical concepts: RTO and RPO. RTO, the recovery time objective, basically answers the question, how fast do we absolutely have to get our services back online? And then RPO, the recovery point objective, answers how much data can we realistically afford to lose? By setting clear targets for both, banks can build the right backup and recovery systems to keep any disruption to a minimum. So the final pillar of this digital fortress is all about looking to the horizon. because cybersecurity is this constant, evolving arms race. And this blueprint is designed to get the financial industry ready for threats that are really just starting to come into focus.
And first up on that horizon is AI. Artificial intelligence is a classic double-edged sword. On one hand, attackers are using it for incredibly realistic deepfake phishing and to create malware that can change itself to avoid detection. But the defenders are using it too, for advanced anomaly detection and to automatically hunt for threats before a human analyst ever could. People are even using frameworks like MITRE ATLAS now just to track all the ways AI is being used in attacks, so the defenses can keep up. But now, for a question that honestly sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie, but it is very, very real. The encryption that protects, well, everything, from your bank account to national secrets, it all relies on math problems that are just too hard for today's computers to solve. So, what happens when a new kind of computer comes along that can solve them in seconds? Yup, that's the threat of quantum computing. And the answer is something called post-quantum cryptography, or PQC. You can think of these as the next generation of digital locks. They're brand new encryption algorithms based on totally different kinds of math problems, specifically designed to be secure even from a massively powerful quantum computer. And listen, this isn't some far-off, we'll deal with it later kind of problem. The transition has already started. FISEC released guidance on this back in 2023, and the U.S. National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, is expected to finalize the very first official PQC standards really soon. The race is on to upgrade our digital locks before the master keys get broken. So, from building security in from the very start all the way to preparing for quantum computers, the real key takeaway here is that this blueprint isn't some static document sitting on a shelf. It's a living, breathing strategy designed to evolve and adapt as the world of threats keeps changing. And it all leaves us with this one final thought. This kind of comprehensive strategy creates a truly formidable defense, no question. But in the world of cybersecurity, is any fortress really impenetrable, or is the race to build stronger walls and smarter defenses just a battle that's never ever going to end?